Over the past 15 years, the medical community has begun to realize that the overwhelming majority of individuals are deficient in vitamin D. This has been based on hundreds and hundreds of studies that have shown that those individuals who have highest levels of vitamin D in their bloodstream, the lower their risk of developing almost every kind of cancer, the lower their risk of having osteoporosis and multiple sclerosis, and they lower their risk of suffering from a heart attack. Well, this still has not led the medical community to endorse the use of supplementing our diet with higher doses of vitamin D. However, in the July 2012 issue of the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, researchers are giving us another reason to be supplementing our diet with vitamin D. They concluded that those individuals who had the highest levels of vitamin D had the lowest risk of developing what we refer to as prediabetes. These researchers followed nearly 5,000 black and white young men and women for over 20 years and found that those with the highest levels of vitamin D had the lowest incidence of prediabetes. In other words, fewer of these individuals will ever develop full-blown diabetes. This study also showed that those who had the highest levels of vitamin D from their diet and through supplementation had a lower body mass index, a smaller waist size, higher good or that HDL cholesterol, and lower blood sugar levels. Now, all of these parameters are risk factors for cardiovascular disease, such as a heart attack or stroke. Vitamin D is not only a key nutrient in the absorption of calcium, but also in the regulation of the secretion of insulin, and therefore has a great influence on blood sugars. Here is another study that shows the health benefits in consuming nutritional supplements. It is felt that nearly 90% of the population is deficient in vitamin D. I remember a study on lifeguards in Australia showed that nearly 50% of them were deficient in vitamin D. Many of us wrongly assume that if we are exposed to a lot of sun or live in warmer climates, that we will have plenty of vitamin D. I strongly recommend to all my patients that they consider having a blood test to actually find out what their vitamin D blood level is. This test is called a 25-hydroxy vitamin D blood level. You will want to have your vitamin D blood level greater than 50 nanograms per ml and preferably above 60 nanograms per ml. These levels are very difficult to maintain without supplementing your diet, especially in the winter. This is why I recommend to my patients that they consume 1,200 IU to at least 2,000 IU of vitamin D3 each and every day. This is why I recommend taking vitamin and mineral supplements that provide what I refer to as optimal or advanced levels of nutritional supplementation, rather than a one-a-day vitamin that only provides the RDA levels of vitamin D.